You know, it's a sad thing, you know, because we make these decisions sometimes in our life that it's a tragic thing. It really is a tragic thing. Sometimes we don't realize those things that we do wrong. You know what I mean? We just keep moving through them. We justify them. We try to make it seem like what we're doing is good. You know, we always say, you know, as drug dealers, that, you know, we used to say we gotta feed our family. You know what I mean? We used to say break bread. You know, we used to do all these things thinking that we were doing something good, that we were doing some good for the family. But ladies and gentlemen, you know what I mean? All this stuff is evil. All of this stuff is satanic. All of this stuff, drugs, the way they're cooked up, the chemicals, the way they're cooked up, you know, it's made to alter your brain. And when it alters your brain, you can no longer think the same. And there's some sort of sobriety. There's some sort of sobriety that. But I gotta ask you to please ask me, bud. You know, it's something about, you know, losing your mind. You know what I mean? Because in order to lose your mind, you know what I mean, you have to. In order to lose your mind, you know what I mean, like you have to implement a chemical in your brain, and that's what my buddies used to do. They used to mix up crack. You know, they used to do this, they used to hustle and stuff like that, and they didn't care about nobody. They didn't care about nothing like that. What's up? I care about nothing. I'm not talking about it. And you know, and my friends, you know, they were just evil individuals, you know what I mean? But see, it was something very interesting because I wouldn't tell them that, hey, let's stay in the house, let's not do anything against anybody, let's not go hustle or anything like that. What I would tell them is let's do more, let's get more money, let's do that more. You know what I mean? But the thing is that Jesus isn't about that. Jesus is trying to heal those, protect those that are sick. You know what I mean? And how can we protect those that are sick as a drug dealer, infecting those that are even already sick? You know what I mean? That concept in our minds, you know what I mean? We continue to do these things. And that's what most gang members, those are what drug dealers do. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care the families they affect. But Jesus isn't about that. Jesus is about loving you. Jesus is about trying to get you to stop the drug addicts. You know, it's about stopping the gang members. You know what I mean? Because those are the evil individuals implementing the evil onto others. And if we don't do that, to change, you know what I mean? We continue to, you know, just implement that disgusting, you know, that disgusting mind onto the people. And we keep putting them worse and worse and dig them deeper into the ditch. And you know, and that's really the tough part, you know what I mean? And Jesus changed me, you know, that's what he convicted me. He convicted me that I had to change all that stuff. I couldn't be a gang member no more. I couldn't implement my violence onto people just because they were from another neighborhood, because they were a different color. I mean, this type of stuff is disgusting. You know, and something that always stuck in my mind, it says, Jesus says this, Jesus says, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, render unto God what is God's. You know, and the thing is that he says that the root of all evil is money. You know what I mean? And we call money now cash, you know, dead presidents, all that type of stuff. But, you know, the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, that when we do those types of things, you know, that we're constantly chasing that money. When we're constantly chasing that money, evil comes from that. And when we don't recognize that evil, we continue to keep doing what we're doing. You know what I mean? And that's why when I hear Jesus, you know, when Jesus says, you know, render unto God what is God's and what is Caesar's, let him give him to Caesar's. And you know, and that's the thing that always stuck in my mind, you know what I mean? Because I seen the root of all evil. I seen it. You know, money is something really disgusting, you know, and it can do really nasty things to people. You know, it can implement control. It can make them think that they're greater than you. You know what I mean? But see, again, you know, those are the things of Caesar. Those are the things of the world. You know, and a lot of my life changed because of the evil that was being implemented, ladies and gentlemen. And I just know it from my own personal experience. And God had to convict me. God had to change me. God had to change me. And I only say that, you know, because my experience is a lot different than most. My experience is way different than a lot of people. But I'm out here, you know, testifying. I'm out here trying to, you know, help those that are in the same path as I am. You know, I run into a lot of Hispanic males, you know, when they're younger. It's a natural thing. You know, when you grow up into a Hispanic neighborhood, it's natural because you have some family, you have some sort of friends or something that's like, you know, already in a gang, and it just becomes more and more. It just becomes building into another gang, and you can have enemies just because you're friends with a person, you know what I mean? And those are the types of things. That's my experience, you know, and I come to you know, give my experience of those. You know, I come to testify because there's a lot of people that are living that, and sometimes when you don't, you know, when I used to hang out with gang members, we knew what we we're doing is wrong, but we had to continue it because our other gang members, if we didn't do them, we would be looked as weak, and then we would get checked. And these are just the life experiences that I've had in my life, you know. And I just say, you know, to those young men, you know, 12, 13 years old, you know, looking up their bigger brother, you know, looking at their big older homies, you know, that's the point, is to try to stop that continuous violence, that continuous drug dealing, you know, because it's looked at something cool. It's looked at something cool, but the thing is that we're just trying to reach out to those that are in need and trying to reach out to those that need that help, because there is a lot of people that are lost, you know. And I know that, you know, that type of evil, if somebody's not out, you know, trying to help them find another way out of it, because you can't, once you're in a gang, you can't even get out of gang. Luckily, a lot of the members that were my gang, they ended up dying. They ended up going to prison, and I was able to walk away from it, but I never initiated out. You know, and those are the things that, you know, forever it'll just always hang over my shoulders because of the violence. I still have to look at some of the people that I've hurt in my life, and trust me, they don't look at me in a nice, kind way. They don't say, hey, because he's a Christian, he's changed. No, they look at me still that negative individual, that violent individual, and there's nothing I can do about it no more. But the thing is that at least I can give them a good word instead of trying to strike them, instead of trying to damage them. You know, I say, hey, I've changed. I'm different. I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be a violent individual. But ladies and gentlemen, there's people like that everywhere, you know, and we're just out here trying to testify, just show how Jesus helped us change. And it's just, I'm sorry, it's not a joke. It's just funny to play, you know what I mean? And it's just, ladies and gentlemen, you know, Jesus is so beautiful, you know, but he's the only way to the Father. And it's just one of those things, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we're out here living our daily lives, you know, it's just, everybody's driving by, everybody's walking by, shopping and stuff like that, but one of these days we're going to go ahead and just go. You know, one of these days we're going to leave our body. And those are the dangers, because we don't know exactly, you know, what we're doing, you know what I mean, what we're doing, you know, in our lives, you know, or what happens afterwards. But you're going to leave your dog? Whoa, bud. No, please don't shove your crotch into me, bud. That's disgusting. You know, that's disgusting. Another, you know, rape, ladies and gentlemen, is a will of a person being implemented on another person without wanting it. You know, and here's a clear example. How could you not consider this to be rape? You know, ladies and gentlemen, you know, how can you not see that this is a disgusting thing? He claims that I'm raping the ears, but ladies and gentlemen, I don't come up to anybody. I don't follow anybody with a speaker or my microphone and start chasing people, following them around. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, if you don't see that this is disgusting, this is the grossest thing, you know, having another man rub his crotch. But you know what? If there was a woman preaching and he was doing the same thing, everybody would be looking at how disgusting that is. But because I'm a man, I don't have that same respect. I don't have that same. But here's a man rubbing his crotch against me. I can literally feel himself rubbing against me. I mean, how disgusting is that, ladies and gentlemen? Did Jesus say that? Did Jesus say, hey, apply your will by rubbing onto another man? No, ladies and gentlemen, you can realize what Satanism is, what's satanic, and here it is. You know what? But hey, ladies and gentlemen, there's evil all in the world, and there's just some things that you can't do. You know, you can only help so much, ladies and gentlemen. And we're just here saying, hey, come to Jesus Christ before it's too late, before you pass. In the mighty name of Jesus, amen.
Amen, motherfucker.